Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Sense for Thoughts. I'm Mo, and today we will be sampling and giving our first impressions of Francesca BIanchi Perfumes. Now, I got this little discovery set and two small 30 ml bottles in a trade. It's not a complete discovery set, but we have 7 perfumes that we'll be sampling for the very first time on camera. So one is Sex and the Sea, one is Sticky Fingers. Are you already getting a bit of a pattern there with these perfumes? We have Tyger Tyger, The Mariner's Rhyme. That's kind of, I guess, tame. The Lover's Tale, Etruscan Water, and The Black Knight. It's got like a little black mask on there. Very interesting. Now, I don't know a lot about Francesca BIanchi, but what I know, I will share with you at the moment. I have no experiences with any of her perfumes. What I can gather is that she's this Italian woman, and I've watched a few very short interviews. She seems very eccentric. She has this kind of energy. Okay, I don't know how to describe it without being offensive. But she's very full on, okay? And judging by the names of the perfumes, they kind of match that energy. And I feel like these are going to be absolutely crazy. Whether they'll be for me or not, I'm not sure. I've heard that there can be some redundancy with some of her work, and she has this kind of a DNA. But to be honest with you, I haven't smelled any of it. I traded for these 2 bottles and this incomplete kind of discovery set. Clearly the other guy that had it loved the rest of them and finished them. And he had 2 bottles, so, but he also is selling them or traded them, so maybe he kind of had enough. But let's give these a go and see how we get on. So Francesca BIanchi, if you haven't gathered, she's Italian, okay? And Italian perfumery tends to have a very bombastic and kind of out there approach. They don't really care about the rules like in France, where they make these super intricate and super put together perfumes. And to be honest with you, I kind of like the energy of Italian perfumery. Some days I just want something super elegant and well made. I wish they would learn from one another, where the Italian perfumery would keep the energy and the excitement and the artisticness, but tidy up and tighten the perfumery skill aspect. And of course, I wish that the French perfumery kind of brands would, liven up a bit. Let's not be so serious. Let's do something exciting and new and say, you know what, let's leave those old rules behind and do something exciting. So I guess my favorite perfumes would be something that melds both styles together. So let's give these a go. I don't know which one we should go for. Let's leave the bottles till the end. Let's go with the first one will be The Lover's Tale. It's very dark juice. Let's give it a spray and see how we get on. Wow, these suck, but we got some out. Okay, off the bat, this reminds me of Papillon Perfumes, a British brand. Okay, this is incredibly powdery and sweet, ambery. It smells really nice, actually. Off the bat, it smells really good. It smells very buttery and creamy and powdery. So I'm assuming there's orris in this. It's not iris, it's orris, because the orris is very buttery rather than powdery. Something very sweet, romantic about this. It's like musk ravageur without any of the spice. It's absolutely lovable and very likable perfume. I wonder how this would develop on skin. From the name The Lover's Tale, kind of figured it would be kind of a sweet musky thing. But on paper, I'm not getting anything challenging or animalic. I sampled a vintage musk ravageur, and that was incredibly pissy. This, I'm not getting much pissiness. It's like, it's quite clean. Wow. Off the bat, super impressed by this one. I immediately want to put it on skin. Wow, the Lover's Tale is fantastic. I'm getting big Musk Ravageur vibes, that vanilla sweet musk. This one's incredibly buttery. It smells like you just stuff your nose into your lover's neck and it's warm, but outside is really cold, and this is like super cozy, and you just take a breath in and it's just, you're in heaven. This is absolutely amazing. I was not expecting this at all. It doesn't smell harsh or aggressive. She gives like this erratic energy, like da 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 da. But this is like smooth, like, you know, like go blowing with the wind. Wow, I'm impressed by this one. So the Lover's Tale, straight 8 out of 10, strong start. Already loving this one. Wish it was in bottle form. Wow. Let's move on to the next one. Next up, let's go for Etruscan Water. Now, I do know that this is a Chypre, okay, because I was doing a Chypre research. People were telling me, don't get the Agalev, get this. Yeah, right. Wow, these are so bad. Okay, this is a thick, heavy Chypre off the bat. But it has big citruses. This is like a Chypre in the Scottish Highlands, outdoors with cows in the fields. The Agalev and the MDCI, Chypre Palatine, etc. These are like Chypres indoors, you know, with fruits and cocktails at night. This is like a day Chypre. Like the sun is beaming down on you, Chypre. Heavy citruses. Thick florals. I'll be honest with you guys, not a huge fan of this one. It's just, the Chypres that I like have a nice thick labdanum base, have a nice fruity top, and they make me think of indoors in the winter. This kind of, it has some intense sweetness, and I'm still getting a bit of oriciness, even though it doesn't really necessarily go well with the Chypre. I totally understand why people like this, but to me, this is not the style of Chypre that I like. This is very citric and sharp, and it has this kind of cloying sweet undertone behind it. I have to be honest with you guys, this is a second impression because I did sample this one when I was looking for a Chypre before, and I'm picking up on the same kind of vibes. It's like, it's very thick and heavy and very sharp citruses, and then there is this sweet syrupiness in the base. It's definitely not high on my list when I first sampled it. In comparison to other Chypres, I preferred the Jubilation Woman 25. I preferred obviously the Agalev, which I ended up getting. Roche's Femme was higher on the list. MDCI Chypre Palatine was higher on the list, just because this one is like so citric and sharp, but I prefer like Dior Eau Sauvage Parfum 2012, which has a myrrh base and it's quite heavy and has citruses in the opening. I feel like I prefer my citruses to be on that side when they're heavy, not on the Chypre side. So yeah, this one, unfortunately, a bit of a disappointment. 6 out of 10. I think for some people this would be an instant love and probably top of their list of Chypres. But it's simply not the style that I like. So that was Etruscan Water, give it a 6 out of 10. Let's move on. Next up, let's do Tyger Tyger. Now this one is Tyger with a Y. I think this is the name of like a strip club or something, right? I'm not sure. Don't ask me how I know. That's totally not my scene, guys. Might be Francesca BIanchi's scene though. Let's find out. What the hell does it smell like? Okay, it's nice. It smells quite boozy. Very thick, plummy almost. Very sweet. It smells like a vintage women's perfume. But not like 2000s kind of old, not like, only 20 years ago, guys. 2020 years ago is absolutely insane, right? It smells like a women's perfume off the bat. Okay, I would not wear this. Sweet, plummy, and boozy. It smells excellent though. It smells great. It smells really good quality. Has a buttery thing going on. There's a texture that's kind of going throughout these. Very weird. I really like this one. I actually prefer this to Etruscan water. I would probably be more likely to wear Etruscan water than this, but it has like a plummy, sweet thing. I think Feminité de Bois is a bit more masculine for me in this kind of style. That's the vibe that I get with this one. But if I was to take myself out of the equation, this is very nice. 7.5 out of 10. Really enjoying smelling this one. This one is the Mariner's Rhyme. Now, I am quite concerned when I see the word marine. Usually, I just get like sulfuric egginess and fishiness. I really dislike. I really hate marine scents, guys. I just have not found one that I enjoy or tolerate. This one sprays a bit better. Yep, this is marine. But it's really beautiful. On paper, I'm not getting any egginess. Okay, yeah, it is there, but there's like a powderiness. It's kind of like cancelling it out almost. There's an irisy thing going on. Again, I don't know what's going on. They all have iris in them, or orris. This is like a sweet, almondy, iris, orris thing in the sea breeze. It's like the lover's tale, but on the beach. I'm getting a bit of a nutty, almondy thing going on. It's quite powdery, as if I can see the wind is blowing some of the sand from the beach. And there's definitely a seawater marine kind of thing going on. It smells great. Definitely trying to catch on to this DNA thing where it's like this orris butter thing. Okay. Even in this one, I'm impressed that it's even made it into this one. This is quite nice, especially for a scent profile that I usually despise. I'm intrigued how this will wear. Will I finally find a marine scent that I don't despise on my skin? We'll give this one a go for sure. 7 out of 10, so slightly higher in the pecking order than Etruscan water. Etruscan water is fantastic, by the way. I feel like I'm not doing it justice. It's just not my style, but it smells phenomenal as a Chypre. And the Mariner's Tale, pretty good. 7 out of 10. Next up, we have the Black Knight. It's got like the little balaclava on. Very, very odd. These are horrible. The Black Knight. I see what that's all about. Oh, okay. This one's dirty and spicy and almost leathery and ashy, like an ashtray. That's a birch tar, I think. Something plasticky though, latexy, like a patent leather kind of thing. But there is this sweet musk that's running throughout it to give it a bit of attractiveness and sexiness. This is really good, actually. Would I wear this? Highly unlikely. This is what Sardanazzo wishes it smelled like, I guess, in a way. Like a more wearable version of that. Leathery, smoky, birchy, sweet musks, a bit of powdery texture. Surely there's no iris in this. There may well be. It's a really beautiful leather. It's like a dark black leather. Maybe a pattern leather and a regular leather together. I love this. It's not very challenging or crazy. Wow, this is really good. It smells a bit like ombre leather. Because there is like a sweet floral musky thing going on. I know ombre leather has jasmine. I haven't smelled ombre leather in forever, but in my mind, this smells similar. I'm probably totally off. I'm getting that Tom Ford leather kind of vibe, you know? But it's not distinctively fruity like Tuscan leather. It's more powdery. The powder with the leather kind of gives it this almondy thing, same as the Mariner's Time or Mariner's Tail or something like that. This reminds me of the leather I smelled in Japan by J Scent. What's it called? Black Samurai, Black Leather or something like that. It's quite similar to that one, actually. Slightly more interesting, slightly higher quality, I feel. You can feel the grain of the leather on this a lot more than the other ones, where they're like too pristine from afar. They smell like, you know, vegan car leather. This smells more up close and personal with it. Really, really like this as well. So far, there's not one that I haven't liked, and I would give this one a 7.5 out of 10. Now we've got our 2 bottles to sample. Let's start with Sticky Fingers. Very interesting name and logo on the bottle. It's even kind of sticky on here as well. Bloody hell. Let's give this a try. Nice. Not a bad atomizer. I mean, anything feels amazing after what I've just smelled. These little 30 ml bottles are quite cute. It feels quite heavy. This is horrible crap. The atomizer, suspiciously okay. Okay, this smells like a worse version of Bengal Rouge off the bat. Powdery, musky, slightly resinous. Vanillic. I feel like there's a bit of overlap between this one and the Lover's Tale. Let me just get the Lover's Tale on here. No, this dried down totally different. Maybe I'll follow up at the end. This is nowhere near as sweet as when I first sprayed it. Let's get back to Sticky Fingers. It smells a bit like Shalimar, a bit like Bengal Rouge. It's quite nice, actually, I have to say. I'll probably give this a few wears, to be honest with you guys, Sticky Fingers. It smells like a Guerlain vanilla. Very powdery. Very likable. It's like a more easy wearing version of Bengal Rouge. I'll be honest, I'm getting straight like Shalimar vibes. Kind of a musky vanilla. There's no citruses in this whatsoever. Like a powdery vanilla. I really like the Sticky Fingers stuff. I can't lie. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad at all. I wonder how it'll wear on skin, because these are coming across a little bit feminine for my liking. But yeah, strong 7.5, 8 out of 10 for this one. Very intrigued as to how it will dry down. Let's move on. Last but not least, we have Sex and the Sea. The names are very cringe. Nice. Pretty decent atomizers. It feels, it sprays a lot. It doesn't feel great, but it sprays a lot. Oh, okay. This also has this powdery, irisy, buttery thing. It smells kind of damp and wow, very interesting. Sex and the Sea. It smells, they all have this musky, buttery thing, like you stick your nose into your partner's neck and it's nice and warm and cozy and you breathe them in. This one is like you're doing it in the car, as in not doing it, okay? You're smelling your partner's neck in the car. I don't know why you're cuddling in the car. Weirdo. Do it at home. But anyway. But you just spend the day swimming. Like a sun cream kind of thing. Just like a fresh breeze, sea water kind of thing. And there's like, she's just got a towel wrapped around her and it's like moist, but the sun has kind of dried it, so it's not like soaking wet or anything. Maybe some shampoo, kind of from washing after swimming in the sea. Yeah, this one's amazing. They're very similar though, off strip on the opening alone, I have to say. Very confusing. I wonder whether they'll dry down differently because this has that Lover's Tale, Sticky Fingers, Lover's Tale. This one have that similar sweet, musky, vanillic, buttery thing going on. These are all quite feminine, but very attractive. This is like a teenager made these, you know? They're like overtly suggestive. Like you just going through puberty or something. Like, relax. Wow, interesting. Now I'm going to revisit the Lover's Tale, Sticky Fingers, and this one here, Sex and the Sea, just to see because they're giving me similar vibes. So let's start with the Lover's Tale. Let's check the dry down. Okay, this has lost the vanillic sweetness. It's become very powdery in texture and in smell. And quite musky. A little bit sweaty, but clean sweat. I prefer the opening. I give this an 8 out of 10. I'll drop it down to a 7. Very interesting though. Intrigued as to how it will smell on skin. So that was the Lover's Tale dry down. Let's move on to Sticky Fingers dry down. Yeah, this is much more vanillic in nature. Off the bat, I prefer this one off of strip, but I can tell that these will be quite different on skin, and I wonder how the musks will react with my skin. They'll either go super animalic or hopefully stay similar to this. Maybe a touch more animalic. This was much more vanillic, less powdery, more buttery. But yeah, so that's Sticky Fingers dry down. Now let's move on to Sex and the Sea. So this one has a lot more freshness and greenness, like you're outdoors versus the other one. Yeah, I really, really enjoy this one. I have to say, I was expecting to not really love these and kind of just pop these bottles straight back up for trade, but it's very, very good. And it is different enough. Sticky Fingers is more of that sweet Shalimari, Bengal Rouge kind of thing. Whilst the Lover's Sex and the Sea, it's more outside, The Lover's Tale is a lot more animalic, almost plasticky and breathy. More challenging for sure. Etruscan water. Yeah, it smells like a pickled, like a marmalade almost, with a bit of abrasive freshness. Not a huge fan, still a 6 out of 10, but it's categorically a good perfume. So definitely sample it if you're looking for a chypre. Might be just what you're looking for. Tyger Tyger. Even better in the dry down. Still categorically feminine, designer from the 2000s. For a lady, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. For me, I'd never wear this. But yeah, Tyger Tyger's not bad. Okay, the Mariner's Time is categorically more of that marine scent coming out now. Yeah, this will turn to eggs and sulfur on my skin. No way in hell I'm wearing this. I'm sorry, guys. I can't give you a fair analysis of Mariner's Tale because of my own sensitivity to cologne and things of that nature. Just smells like a women's version of Acqua di Gio. because with Aqua G, all I get is the cologne. It's so dominant to my brain, I can't even get any of the aromatic citruses. So sorry, I can't really comment on the Mariner's Tale. Last but not least, Black Knight. Yeah, it's becoming a lot less sweet and floral and just powdery, leathery. It's nice, but it's not my favorite kind of leather. I prefer Corium, to be honest with you. I even prefer ombre leather and Tuscan leather and Nouveau Monde than this. I do wonder if this will wear differently on skin, but it's a very good perfume. That Black Knight, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. So that concludes sampling Francesca BIanchi. I appreciate I haven't sampled all of them, only 7 of her perfumes. I was going in there with low expectations. There's definitely a DNA throughout, so I would say if you were to own them, you would really want to stick to like 1 or 2 because they do overlap quite a lot with this oricey, buttery, musky, vanillic kind of thing. Okay, my favorites actually ended up the 2 that I ended up having bottles of, so who knew? Happy days. I'll definitely be giving these more wears. Sticky Fingers, definitely the most wearable, and I can tell, I mean, the guy put in a bit of a dent in this 30 ml, so I totally understand that this one is a bit more particular, the Sex and the Sea. But yeah, I'm not mad about it at all. I'll be giving these a few wears. Highly unlikely that they end up staying in my like permanent collection, but I will wear them, I will review them, and if I get any more Francesca BIanchi stuff, I will definitely be doing a second part where I sample all of her other stuff, the stuff that was missing from the Discovery set for you guys. What's your experiences like with Francesca BIanchi? I appreciate that these are quite sexy and seductive and will probably wear totally different on skin, especially if she uses some musks, a lot of musks. They kind of are skin dependent and warmth dependent, so I'm very intrigued as to how these will wear. But overall, I would say it's a positive experience. I would say in terms of similar styles, Papillon is probably a little bit more interesting, with a bit more of a wider variety, with a bit more tighter perfume making skills. They're both nowhere near like professional French perfumers. These guys are clearly like self-made and doing it at home. But I would say these are a bit more likable and easy to wear and easy to like, whilst the Papillon, from my experience, I've only had Bengal Rouge, a lot more stronger and abrasive, less polished, less trying to be nice, and ultimately more niche and more artistic. These are not that challenging from my experiences. Let me know what you guys think. Have you tried the House of Francesca BIanchi? What are your favorites? Which one of these should I put on skin? Which will surprise me? Which ones should I get samples of from the ones that I haven't sampled today? Please let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.